Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and today is the drop of Historic Anthologies 5 into Historic. So this is an injection of powerful cards from Magic's history, and two notable cycles we got included in this set are the Praetors cycle from New Phyrexia, which we're going to be featuring in a deck here, as well as the command cycle. So similar to Strixhaven, there's a bunch of dual colored commands. The originating commands, notably the best of the commands, Kolaghan's Command, is a card that we'll be playing this deck and a bunch of other decks. So we're going to be featuring a bunch of decks here today, a mix of best of 1 and best of 3 historic, depending on the playstyle, and we'll go from there. So this first deck we have is a Mardu Reanimator deck. Reanimator means taking a creature from your graveyard and putting it onto the battlefield. So we played a Dragon Reanimator a couple days ago, and that shell is actually really good for this with some changes. And the cards we're trying to reanimate are the Praetors for the most part. So you have Elish Norn, Grand Sebonite, 7 mana, 4/7 vigilance. Your creatures get +2/2. Your opponent's creatures get -2/2. So shrinks your opponent's board, and it's a really powerful kind of one side. So this is one of the main targets. The one card we don't have in the deck is Grizzlebrand. That's generally the card that gets targeted with these Reanimator decks the most. We also have the Praetor Shieldred. So Swamp Walk means if your opponent has a swamp, it can attack and be unblockable. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get to return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield, so we can bring back one of our creatures, and then your opponent sacrifices a creature on their turn. We have Volocumous Lorehold. This is another way just to get free value casting spells, so you could chain together multiple reanimation spells. We have a Platinum Angel, which prevents us from losing the game. If your opponent can't deal with it, they can never win. You can have no cards in your library, no time on your clock. You can do whatever you want. You're not losing the game. And then we have Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur. So there is no way in our deck to cast this other than bringing it back from the graveyard. So at the beginning of our end step, we draw 7 cards, and the opponent's hand size is reduced by 7. So they can have a maximum hand size of 0 for the game. So the way we're doing this is a lot of self-mill style effects. So we have Stitcher Supplier and Faithless Looting to put cards into our graveyard. And then we have Croxas as an alternative way to have escape, fuel all the cards that we do. We're bringing creatures back with Burial Rites, so this has flashback similar to Faithless Looting. You're able to return a creature, so you kind of get 8 reanimation spells in one. We also have Kolaghan's Command. So this card's kind of flexible and cheeky in our deck, so we can use it to target your opponent to discard a card, but you can also make yourself discard a card. So if you have one of the Praetors in your hand, you can discard the card and target yourself. This also deals with artifacts. It can return a creature from your graveyard to your hand and then deal 2 damage to any target. And the rest of the deck is just removal. We need to stay alive. We generally have the most powerful long game, just having so many powerful 7 to 10 drops. We need to stay alive. So we have Bloodchief's Thirst, we have Lightning Helix, we have a bunch of sweepers in Clarion, Languish, and Shadow's Verdict. The reason I'm going Shadow's Verdict, despite it targeting some of my own creatures, is the fact that elves, angels, they get above that for toughness. So we want to be able to deal with those. This also doesn't affect any of my big hitters. And that's pretty much the deck. Mardu Mana Base. We will take this to best of 1 and see how it goes. I also put together an Abzan version, so green instead of red. But I found it to be a tad underwhelming. So with Faithless Looting, you're able to put cards from your hand into the graveyard, so it helps if you draw it. I didn't find it the same with the Abzan version. Also, it's harder to stay alive because you don't have Clarion, but we'll see how it goes. As always, as we jump into this, if you do enjoy the content, do consider a like, comment, and subscribing. It goes a long way to helping the channel. So this is more of a fair hand. We don't have ways putting into the graveyard. I think we mulligan. This hand's arguably worse, but let's go from there. I think this turn we're just doing this. Keep them off more explosive drop. This Shadow's Verdict is going to ruin Elves' day. Oh, this might be Green Light Company. which is actually probably worse. They have like Redain that taxes our spells. So really, and they might have Scavenging Ooze, which is also a bit of an issue. So we'll just play out all our duels. Thalia's a bit annoying, but I think we just continue our game plan of kill everything. Want to try to ideally get this Crocs out. Like, this isn't the greatest. I'm actually going to hold the land at this point in case we draw Faithless Looting. Okay, so I can Burial Rites back a Croxa. It doesn't do too much. I guess we get one card out of their hand. Lets me use my mana for the turn. Because we're not going to be able to escape this Croxa just yet. Yeah, so we needed a way. We just didn't draw any of our graveyard enablers. No Stitcher, no Faithless. We needed ways to pull it in. So that's Collected Company. Let's see if we can get them to commit a bit more to the board. Lightning Helix isn't bad. Lets me do this. I want to keep this in my yard, so we'll do this next turn. I think we're... So they probably have Skyclave Apparition in hand. Is my guess as to why they're waiting on this Croxa. So it's actually okay because they exile with Skyclave and then I Shadow's Verdict and then I get a 2/2 out of it. Teferi's Protection. Yep. That's fine. We Shadow's Verdict here. I could Faithless Looting, try to find a land. I think this turn I'm just going to Shadow's Verdict, clear the board. And then next turn Faithless Looting because I don't want to discard either. Colligan's Command's nice. We are just not drawing a whole lot. See if we can Colligan's Command something potentially. Kinda don't care what they... So target player discards a card, steal 2 damage here. So look at the block, but I don't particularly care. They've already gone through... Oh, that's a terrible thing for them to draw. What are the chances? They have exactly enough mana to eat everything? Come on. We would have had Velocamus. Ah, opponent's going off here. Need Languish. Doesn't do it. I need my other Shadow's Verdict. We are going to draw land. That's probably dead for us. Ah, that was rough. They literally drew the perfect card there. Anything else in their deck? It's kind of crazy. They went exactly that into Elf. Like, great 2-card succession. Otherwise, we would have been able to Faithless Looting. Like, in retrospect, I could have Faithless Looting if we knew the Lorehold was on top. And then got Lorehold. This hand doesn't do it. We have no ways of putting these into the graveyard. This hand's good. Okay, so this is Tempered Steel on the opponent's side. It's an Artifact Synergy deck. Okay, so we got Sheoldred coming along. Next turn, I have the option of... I think I'm going to just do this now. The reason being, that can get it out of the range of Deafening Clarion. Especially if they have like Tempered Steel here. I think here we just do this, just hope to draw land. Gains Indestructible. Good to know. Land. Okay. Should have specified. I think I'm going to do this. And then I can Helix on their turn. And then next turn where I'm Burial Righting. And we're getting Sheoldred. Okay, that's pretty good. Rather you did an opponent. So I could like Stitcher here. Opponent! Alright, on the board. Turns out 4 mana, 8/8 that clears your board is pretty good. See, we'll do 1 or 2 more of this. Best of 1 games go pretty quick as well. This hand is pretty sweet. I need double black for a sweeper, so I think in the dark we just do this. These Lightning Helix can bridge us. So I could survive Triome. I think we're just doing this. Sango. Explore. I think we do this. Just get cards. I think this is a game we're going to want Croxa. Actually, I doubt Colligans is going to do too much in this game. Helix does more damage to the face. So I can almost escape Croxa. This is a ramp deck. Again, a bit of a slower start on our part. When you don't have like a way to, the enabler. Okay, we got lore holds. Okay, can we get an extinction event? It would be totally cool. Mixed Bloom Ancient. That's definitely something we're gonna kill. Okay, Croxa next turn. Wonder what's in opponent's hand. Gonna hold this. We're getting close to hard casting, so we'll play it out. It's a pretty easy block on our part. So Vorinclex is one of the other Praetors. I'm doing this because we can hardcast any of our Praetors. Whenever an opponent taps a land, that land doesn't untap during its controller's next step. These are legendary. Double major, what? Opponent is dead. Okay, we still got him. They locked us out of lands. Opponent's on some jank, I appreciate it. So when an opponent doesn't draw a Scavenging Ooze on us the turn before we're about to reanimate everything, still want Elish Norn. Okay. Let's go. I think we just do Helix here. We diggin'. I prefer this if they have a 1-drop. I think again we're just spinning Helix here. We will find this on Burial Rites. Alright, turn 2. Seeing 14 cards. Not sure. What type of jank opponent's on, or if it's Simic turns or something. One day we will find that on Burial Rites. So let's just dig a bit deeper. Crocs is actually pretty sweet. I'm actually going to keep the Unburial Rites in hand. So we get 2 casts. This might be a counterspell deck, so I want to be able to If this is Simic Flash, we're going to have a hard time, especially because we've been so many sweepers. So I think I'm going to do Lore Hold to try to find some removal. Okay, so we'll get another chance next turn. This matchup seems awful. We are a slow play 4 mana spells into their instance. Okay, well, we will play around Quench. I'll do it again, opponent, I swear. This does force them to do something, and they don't get to just Gear Hulk. Them getting to use, like, Quench on it feels pretty bad. And Dispute as well. Gonna Helix in their upkeep. If they want to counter, they gotta tap out now. Had we known they were on Flash, obviously keep some of those other spells. So I'm going to see if they want to Ambush Viper here. So I can Faithless. I think I'm just doing this. It's worse for Brazen Borrower, but it's a good body. Have a hard time here, especially now that they found Gear Hulk mana. Let's try this again. Wolf. Don't have the right sweepers either. Yeah, opponent's hand lined up really well. We didn't really pressure them at all. And this is part of the reason, like, although this game's not going how we want, this does demonstrate, like, why we have the Kroxa backup line. We've had now 5 spells countered, and we've just been able to repeatedly get some value out of that. I'm going to Clarion here. It gets rid of 2 bodies. I'm doing this first because this will bait out a counter potentially. Okay, they ditch the Brazen Borrower. We're just trying to buy a turn here. They could have another wolf. That's lethal. Like, and that's the thing with Best of One. I built my deck to prey on, like, you don't see much Simic Flash. Like, our deck is built to prey on, like, elves, all the low to the ground aggro decks, stuff like Gruul. when your opponent's playing a bunch of counter spells and you are a slow mid-range deck, like on our side of the board, our deck is the perfect thing that the opponent wants to see. Like not doing anything, they can play at their own pace. So it's just important to kind of know what you can play around, what you can't. That's going to be a matchup we lose 9 times out of 10. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to lead off with Stitcher Supplier because I don't know what the opponent's on yet. So I want to see if I want this Clarion or not. Because if not, if it's like a matchup where this isn't as needed, then I'll ditch it and then I'll have Velocomist. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely a Clarion matchup. Don't love the fact I've had to shock myself twice here, but I think we're keeping the lands here. Stitcher on chump block duty. We'll see how like crazy they go. Hopefully they have like a big BTE drop this turn and this Clarion's able to do some work. Oh, if they're missing lands, we probably wait one more turn. Okay, so we definitely wait one more turn, I think. Ooh. And Languish. Kind of want both. Okay, we'll just do this. As much as I want it, we want to make sure we have the 4th land, in part for both Kroxa as well as this Languish. Pretty easy block for us. Okay. That'll be decent afterwards. This also deals with Questing Beast if they drop it next turn. Yep. I think I'm gonna 1-for-1 here. The reason being, if they have land Embercleave, which is a real possibility, I'm dead. I think we just continue to play our lands out. We might just need to hardcast here. Would have liked one of those Lightning Helixes, to be honest. So here... Gonna get rid of a Stitcher here. So I'm not dead to Cleave here. It's because with the Death Touch Trample it works. Tarka's Command. So, gotta be mindful of our life total. Got him. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. We'll do one more. I want to reanimate Elish Norn. The backup plan with Kroxa has been pretty sick. This hand is a keep, I think. I'll shock on one, because we're going to want to know how we want to play out our lands. Okay, well, we weren't drawing lands. Faithless is decent in there. I can bin some stuff later on. Pelty. I do want to find a white source. It's likely Gruul again. Need a land. This could be just mono green stompy. Any land. Give me a land. Oh no. Oh heavens no. Land, please. Land, please. Any land. It's not good. Oh my goodness. Opponent is just straight. I will play all the graveyard hate. I think we do this. The problem is I can't even Helix here. Don't particularly care about Kroxa. If they spend their whole turn eating my graveyard, it's pretty good. Why? We needed that land the last turn. Guess we have 2 creatures in the yard. Oh, did they mess up? They did. They messed up. Should have ate Platinum Angel. So I can exile their board potentially next turn. Can also gain some life back. Gruul typically doesn't have a way to kill Platinum Angel. Why are they exiling stuff that doesn't matter? Shadow's Verdict, exile everything in their graveyard. I think we'll still kill the ooze. Just in case. This allows me to still be able to, because they can do the ooze at instant speed. Alright, we got Elish Norn and Lorehold. A land gets us there. Okay. They value Elish Norn here. think we just continue like this. We missed land too many times. They're going to be able to take out my Velocomist here. I have this just as a life insulation. They're also gaining 2 per turn. Okay, we do have Clarion. I don't want to do this actually because it could make it so I get stomped. And I don't want to lose this to stomp. They might be waiting for double stomp. That could be what's in their hand. Really need to Shadow's Verdict here. Okay, well, next turn. Don't think it matters. Like, I could just give the lifelink here. Like, I'm dead anyways if they have double stomp. I'm probably going face-face with these helixes next turn. Could just be cleave. Alright. Did you find the double stomp? I guess minus 18 versus minus 15 isn't much of a difference. Oh, actually, I kind of messed that up. Could have had lethal. Okay, we got to dodge. One turn dodge. Oh, I'm an idiot. This is 6 damage. Okay, if we lose, it's my fault. Why did I think... Okay, we got it. I thought it was 4. Punted that. But sweet. That's a really cool demo of the deck. We bet turn 2 Scavenging Ooze, turn 3 Clothis. The deck is sweet. It is a best of 1 deck. It gets heavily hated out by Rest in Peace, stuff like that. But let me know what you think, and we'll be back for some more. Thanks for watching.